to my YouTube channel. So there's this scenario I want you to imagine before I get into today's video. So imagine you've been working on a project and everything has been going well, everything has been working out seamlessly in your favor. And just when you're about to complete this project, you realize that there's a step you missed, and this step might cost you the entire project if you don't get it resolved, and you don't even know how to go about it because there's a lot of challenge around this one step that you missed. Yeah, that's a really terrible situation to be in, and that's kind of what I'm discussing today. But before I get into the video, my name is Olusayo-Prada. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm currently an international student in Canada. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and be active on this channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for staying tuned. So in today's video, I'll be discussing the passport issue that I experienced during my study permit application process and how I navigated the issue to finally get into Canada. So stay tuned. So at the time I started my study permit application, that was after I got my admission to the university. I was so excited, and I kind of didn't do my research well, and also my agent did not inform me that my passport validity was a material issue in my study permit application process. So I dived right into the application. I didn't check my passport validity, and my application was already submitted with my old passport. So during the waiting period, after I'd done my biometrics, I was just on Google one day, and I think I was on Quora, and I saw someone talking about 6 month passport validity. I read about it and I realized that um Nigeria has, to start with, Nigeria has a 6 month passport validity rule. And the meaning of this is that if you're leaving Nigeria and the validity of your international passport is less than 6 months, they may not allow you to travel. The second thing I realized is that the duration of your study visa, that's your temporary resident visa and your study permit, is tied to your international passport's duration. So, for instance, let's say you have just 2 months on your international passport. The visa they would give you to come to Canada would be just for 2 months. And if you travel to Canada with that same passport, the study permit you would get would be just for 2 months. And you can imagine you're probably coming to Canada to study a program of 1 or 2 years. And the implication of that is that you would have to apply for another study permit and visa, and that's extra money. So when I realized this, I was kind of troubled, like, how come I didn't know about it? I'd already submitted my application. So I went into panic mode, and the next thing I knew I could do was to immediately apply for a new passport because I had not gotten a passport request from IRCC, so I felt like I still had time. This was in January 2022. So in my panic mode, I just thought of the first immigration officer that came to my head, and I immediately reached out to the person and said, "Oh, I want to get an international passport." I thought that, oh, because I know someone, the process is going to be fast. So I paid, and after paying, I realized this person started telling me stories that the passport process has been updated, that the Nigerian government has installed a new system that doesn't allow them to like fast track so the he said that I had to wait for about 1 month in order to get a date because their workload or the number of applications they had at the passport office. So the passport office was Ikoyi, Lagos. So he said the number of applications they had at the Ikoyi passport office was a lot. So I had to wait for about a month to get a date for capturing. So at this point I felt like everything was still fine until March 2022 came, and I got my passport request from IRCC, and at this point I had not yet captured. They had not even given me a date for capturing, so I was really confused because I'm like, if I send, so the validity on my old passport was about 7 months. So I'm like, if I send my old passport to IRCC, that means I was only going to get a visa for 7 months and probably a study permit for 7 months if I didn't get my new passport before leaving Nigeria. So I was really troubled, but I called my immigration officer. I even went to the passport office to see if there was anything I could do or anyone that could help me, but my efforts proved abortive. And then there, IRCC usually puts a deadline to when you can send your international passport for your visa. So I waited. I think the deadline was in 3 weeks' time, and I actually waited for about 2 weeks. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm getting too close. So I decided to send my old passport to IRCC because half bread is better than none, right? And I couldn't risk my study permit or my access to Canada because I didn't have a new passport. So I took a leap of faith and I sent that passport. I continued to apply pressure on my passport officer to please help me to, resolve this issue. Eventually they gave me a date, and the date they gave me for capturing was at the end of March 2022. I went for my capturing, and when I got to the passport office, they told me that my NIN, because I recently updated my NIN, that's my national identification number. I recently updated something on it. So they told me that the update I did about several weeks ago had not yet been verified. And the implication of that was that they could not submit my capturing. At this point, I was just overwhelmed. Like, this is the last stage of this process. Why is this happening? So I left the passport office that day and went straight to the NIN, to the person that did my NIN update. Um, I did a lot of back and forth, and after I eventually verified my NIN, the date they gave me for the submission of my passport was like in May 2022, and my course was set to begin in May 2022. That was too close. And when you know how the Nigerian system works, you know that the dates that they give you, something might happen on that date or before that date that would extend the date. So I was just really confused. And at that point, all I could do was pray because I tried meeting different people. I tried calling people in Abuja, calling superintendent of um Nigerian Immigration Service and all of that, but it just wasn't moving because of this new system that the Nigerian government installed. So I had to wait for that date. I took a leap of faith and I went to book my flight to Canada a few days after the date that they gave me for the submission of my passport. And I just kept praying. And luckily, or as God would have it, I actually got my passport 2 days before my travel date. That was really close. That was really, really close. But I got my new passport 2 days before my travel date. But I would never forget the emotional turmoil and apprehension that I went through because of this, because I had put so much effort. In fact, the study permits process was not even hard. So I'm like, is it my international passport that is going to deprive me of this opportunity? Anyways, God made it happen. So the reason I'm telling this story is so that if you're coming to Canada soon as an international student, so that you don't make the same mistakes. Remember, I said I had sent my old international passport to IRCC after my passport request came. So by the time IRCC sent my passport back to me with a visa, of course, as expected, the duration of that visa was just 7 months because it was limited to the duration of my passport. But since I got my new international passport few days before I traveled to Canada, I arrived in Canada with my 10-year validity passport, and as a result, the immigration officer that I met with in Canada at the Toronto Pearson International Airport actually gave me a study permit for my entire study period. So the limited visa did not affect my study permit. So the implication of the limited visa is that if I ever want to leave Canada, I have to renew that visa in order to be able to enter back into Canada when I'm coming back. So if I don't renew that visa and the validity expires, I better stay in Canada or I renew it before leaving Canada. Yeah, so like I said, I don't want you guys to make the mistake that I made. So, what I'll be advising you to do when you want to start your study permit application, even before you get your admission, I would advise that you first, if your passport is not valid for at least 2 years or the duration of your study, renew it before or as soon as you start your admission processing. The second thing I would say you should do is be strategic about choosing your passport office. If you're in Lagos, I would advise for you not to use Ikoyi Passport Office because they get a lot of applications and you would not want your passport application to get lost um in all of that busy schedule that they have. I think the passport office in Festac is fair. I'm not sure. Maybe because I know someone there, but be strategic about how you choose your passport office. I would recommend that you use a passport office outside of Lagos because they usually don't get as much applications as the passport offices. My third recommendation is that in case your passport request comes before your new international passport is out, just send your old international passport. Don't delay because the limited visa you're going to get is not going to affect your study permit as long as you um arrive in Canada with your new international passport. Then the first thing I would advise is that you should try your best possible to get your new international passport before leaving Nigeria because like I mentioned, Nigeria has a 6 month passport validity. So you might get to the international passport with your old passport, and if it's less than 6 months to expiry date, they might not allow you to travel. That's a really chaotic situation that nobody should get in. Um yeah, so endeavor to get your new international passport before leaving Nigeria because if you want to renew your passport here in Canada, um you have to travel to Ottawa, and if your school or the place you're traveling to in Canada is not Ottawa, you would have to travel a long distance to get your passport and all of that. So I recommend that you just renew your passport before leaving Nigeria. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you in today's video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope that you learned a thing or two. Um, please like my video, subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned because I'll be sharing more about my journey to Canada and my journey in Canada going forward. I'll be sharing different useful information, and if there's any topic you would like me to talk about, please leave it in the comment section below. I'll be sure to address it. Thanks for watching, and once again, it's Olusayo-Prada signing out. Take care.